comment section. Okay. So it's our Flutter Weekend, and we have our two speakers here with us, Chizi and Festus Olusegun. So first off, I want to say thank you, as this will be our last event for DSC Unilag, because we're resuming next week. So that's just a reminder, and we'll be having all our events probably physically when we resume or as time goes on. So like I said, we have our two speakers here, and for our first session is going to be on Flutter Web, and it's going to be taken by Cheesy. So Cheesy is um a mobile developer at BottlePay and is also the GDE for Flutter and that. So let's welcome Cheesy as we'll be taking a session on Flutter Web.
Hi, good morning. Can
Mm,
everyone hear me?
yeah, I can.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I think I will be sharing my screen now. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, can everyone? Yeah, okay, so hi.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, so I am Ogbonda Chiziaruhoma, but I think anyone can just call me Chizi for short. I'm a mobile developer at BottlePay, and like if you said, I think um Flutter Stroke that GDE. So this talk is basically like an introduction to Flutter Web. Just to give an overview of bringing Flutter to this whole new web ecosystem. So Flutter was predominantly a cross-platform solution that cut across mostly mobile platforms, that's Android, iOS, and yeah, I think that was just about it. But I think as of 2019, they added web support. So they made it so that you could also target the web as an extra platform for deploying your Flutter applications to. So Flutter's web support basically is like a standalone suite that helps you deploy your existing projects or your new projects to the web. So the first thing about Flutter support for web is you should know that basically the architecture for web and for mobile is very, very similar. It's basically the same thing. The only difference is that below the whole framework, the whole that framework, the browser. So that's the major difference. So in the mobile world, that is for Flutter for mobile, instead of having this particular, I think this browser JavaScript group C++ engine, it has a native C++ engine for the respective OSs, that's for Android and then for iOS. But for the web, they had to rebuild that particular engine to support the web. So after you finish writing your Flutter code and everything, it then compiles everything back to HTML and CSS, um, and also uses WebGL and sometimes WebAssembly. So Flutter web support is basically still new. I think it's about 1 year old because it was last year they brought it to stable because it had been in beta for a couple of months, and then they finally brought it to stable in I think Flutter 1.17. I think I would confirm that. So basically, it's just a brief introduction to web support for Flutter. Then setting up a project for the web is pretty much easy. The first thing you might want to note is that I think it's now in stable, so you could easily create a web project and target it from stable. But if you want the latest features, for web support, you might want to switch to either the beta channel, or I think the dev channel. So these are like the branches that are more up to date with the latest versions of different fixes for the web. So I think this is like the major thing you need to know about Flutter Web. Then there's some couple of other things that I wasn't able to put into the slides. So one thing you need to know about Flutter Web is that when building for the web, you have the option to select um, whether it should be a WebKit. I mean, let me confirm that. I think they have two different modes or three. One of them is the Canvas Kit mode. So that's like the latest version of the engine, or a different type of engine that was created to fix particular bugs for the web. And then they have the normal DOM renderer. So I think I should bring up a new screen for this. Well, in the meantime, does anyone have any question? Hello?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, towards around last year, yeah, we usually, though I've not explored Flutter Web, but I've been hearing cases of, the speed of Flutter Web and the performance. So I don't know if those has been fixed in this new stable version of Flutter Web. Is it behaving normal as the normal HTML CSS web, or is it still facing these, issues of performance and all?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. Like most of everything I said, Flutter Web is still relatively new. So there are still definitely going to be lots of performance issues, lots of different bugs. So like I was trying to explain, this is why we have the Canvas Kit renderer. So it's a better version of the engine for rendering this Flutter Web, but it has slightly lots, like I think more bugs in it, because I've tried both of them. So the first one is the normal HTML renderer. So basically, it's just a combination of HTML elements, CSS, Canvas elements, and SVG elements. Um, it's basically just the default one you get when you try using the Flutter Web by default. But then there's this second one, the Canvas Kit render, which has like a better, faster optimization, but might get or encounter a couple of bugs because this is it's relatively newer, and then this is the one that the Flutter team decided that okay, yeah, they want to run with um in the long run. So in the long run, once they perfect the Canvas kit renderer, I think they would be switching fully to this particular one. But for the bugs, there's still like lots of bugs, but it's still in development, in active development. But for now, I think they've been able to fix most of the performance issues they had at the initial stage of the when they launched Flutter Web. So there's lots of work going on. Lots of people are contributing to make sure the Flutter Web experience is as smooth as it would be for other needs, other web languages like I think JavaScript and the rest. But for now, Flutter Web is still majorly in its infancy. Does anyone have another question? Or was I able to answer your questions correctly?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Does anyone have any other question?
I have a question.
Okay.
How good is Flutter Web? Is there any chance it might replace JS in the future?
I can't say actually, but I would, like I said, it's still basically in the beginning stages. So there's still lots of things that need to be done before Flutter Web can be brought up to the standard of the more common methods being used in building web applications. So there are lots of obstacles to overcome, lots of new features to be brought in, lots of bugs to be fixed, and the rest.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, but in the meantime, there are lots of Flutter applications that are already targeting the web. So I don't know if I could, for example, I think run one of them right now. Just give me a minute, second. So I think currently I'm on the dev branch. So I currently just cd sample. So I have, I think, macOS enabled also. I'll just migrate the project to null safety now. I think I need to enable web. Okay, I've already enabled web support. I don't think I have web support enabled anymore. I need to go back and enable it. Not sure what's happening, but I don't think I have web support enabled on this dev branch in particular. Well, I guess I'll have that fixed later on. Because if I run it right now, it's just going to run for, I think, macOS instead of the web. So let's go back to the presentation though. I'll have that fixed later on. I think you have to enable Flutter Web separately. when you are in dev, or I think development, on the development channel. I'll fix that later. Sorry, trying to, okay. I guess I'll fix that later on. So I think that's like the major thing here for that. So one should be able to, I think on the stable channel, straight up, you should be able to target, I think, Chrome browser or basically any browser that you have, and then you'll be able to run Flutter Web. I have my portfolio website. I think it was built with Flutter Web also. So if you want to check that out, it's kind of like not up to date. So I need to still update it to the latest Flutter version. So is I think a few versions behind. So it might not really have all the latest Flutter Web features. But I would look into that later on and fix that up. I think that's majorly it. If you have more questions, you can check out Flutter Web, the documentation there. It has, I think, all the guides on how to start and how to um, build Flutter Web applications. Also, um, instructions on how to publish, and then you could check GitHub. I think GitHub issues for the latest issues on Flutter Web, and also on the GitHub project board, you could see what the Flutter team is working on or what they have in store for the Flutter Web as an ecosystem of its own. So, does anyone have any more questions?
If you have a question, just kindly unmute yourself and ask, or you could type in the chat section. So I'm taking it as no one has any question, right? Wait, can you all hear me? Okay.
Oh, yes, we can.
Yeah, that means no one has any questions. Questions. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
very much.
I thought he was going to run the website for us to see.
Yeah, I'm trying to currently run that. So I think if I share my screen now, that's one of the
Okay,
things
why
I'm
don't you just try Flutter Clean and rerun it again and see?
Yeah, I don't think it's Flutter
I don't think
clean
there's a
actually.
problem.
I did not have the web SDK, so I think running Flutter build web is trying to fix that currently.
Okay.
Hmm. I can build for the web, but I'm not sure I have any browsers that I'm targeting currently. Because currently I just built this one. Then it work. I think it should work perfectly or not. Or might have to save it, I'm not sure. Well, I'm not really sure what's going on because I'm not able to currently test or even run it at all. But it should show under the devices, but it's not showing. Let me check if I can. I'm not sure. Get Flutter web project that I've already built. Again, run it. I don't think I'll be able to do that. I don't think I'll be able to do that actually. Well, I probably think it's because I'm not on the stable channel, so I have to do a bit of more configuration. But I think if you're on the stable channel, you should be able to test out Flutter web without any hassle. Well, currently I can mostly just run desktop and for the other one, but I haven't. It shows that Flutter web is here and I can build for the web, but I can't run it. Test it. I'm not sure why. Well, I guess I'll fix that later. Here's desktop though. No, I guess I'll have to fix later. Yep, so can everyone hear me?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
I
we
guess
can
that's
hear
it.
you.
I don't know, I can't currently run Flutter web on my end. I think it's like an issue with my configuration, but I guess I'll have that fixed later on.
Okay. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat section, or you could ask if you have any other questions. But people that are just joining, or I don't know, people that have been here. So I've been asking if you have any questions. It seems no one has any questions. So we'll come to the end of this session. So we'll move on to the second session that we have for today. So our second speaker is Festus Olusegun, and he'll be taking us on complex UI and painting. So Festus Olusegun is a mobile and backend developer who spends most of his time working with Flutter. He also has experience with other languages like Java, Kotlin, and JavaScript. Loves giving back to the community, contributing to open source. So let's welcome Festus as we're giving his talk on complex UI and painting.
Hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Definitely, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. My name is Festus. I'll be talking on complex UI and painting today. Let me just share my screen so you can all see my slides. Okay. So can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So a little bit about me. I'm a software engineer at Liberate, open source contributor, and Flutter developer since 2018. So in this talk, we'll be addressing a few things like what is custom paints, and we also do some practical on how to uh, draw some basic shapes. Then we'll move into drawing and animating a complex UI. So what is custom paint? Custom paint ensures that we can design those UI components that cannot be derived from the regular widget provided by Flutter. To paint in Flutter, we can use custom paint widgets. So this basically is just talking about how Flutter provides us several widgets, a whole lot of widgets. We have a lot of widgets in Flutter that is provided to us, text, container, and so on. But still, there's still some UI that we want to build that we can't achieve by putting together those widgets that Flutter already provides to us. So this is where custom paints and of course custom paints widget and of course uh, some other things comes in. So these are examples of things we can do. These are a few examples of things we can do with custom paints. Like the first one is just a little curve. Sometimes designers create some screens for us, like maybe like in our login, and we can see simple curves like this in the first screenshot, and also the second screenshot is just a very simple painting of a Pepsi cup, and it's also animated. And the last one is just for anime fans. They know what Sharingan is. It's just a simple loader, something that you can maybe when you're creating an anime app, you can use this when your data is loading from the API or something. Display on the screen before the data is presented to the users. So what is the custom paint widget? The custom paint is a widget that provides a canvas and takes the custom painter to execute the paint commands. And then our custom painter is the class to extend when creating custom paint. When creating custom painters, canvas is the class that painter uses to paint. I'll be showing some sample codes to pack this up so we don't get confused. So this is basically the structure of custom paint widget. It's a widget that takes in a painter, um, which is a custom painter, and also a child, which could be any widget of a choice. The custom painter class. So for custom painter class, we have to create the custom painter class. We have to extend the custom painter. Class full painter extends custom painter, and this custom painter provides us with um, cu- custom painter provides us with the canvas and also the size. But while creating the custom painter, it's necessary for us to create two important methods. That's like the paint and the should be paint. The paint method is just is basically where all the magic happens. So everything you want to draw, everything you want to do has to be done in this particular place, the paint, and there should be paint below. It's just to tell the app when if you want to like reload the custom painter when a change happens. So in the paint method, we have the canvas and the size. The canvas, of course, is like our drawing board. It's like our drawing board. It's basically a class that provides you with with several methods to draw things. And then the size is just the size of our canvas, the height and the width. So the canvas class, like the canvas class, is a class that provides several methods for painting whatever we want. Like can draw line, canvas will draw line, canvas will draw circle, draw rectangle, draw arc, draw path, and a lot of other things. So this is a new section, basic shapes. In this session, I'll just maybe just scroll to my code and show us how we can draw some of these things. Just this practical. So I'll just swipe to my code now and just do a little walkthrough. Uh, okay. So I already created the app. And the pages. So this is the basic shapes page. It's a stateless widget, and in the body, you can see the custom paint widget, and I have the custom painter here, and also passed to the custom paint. So right now we have nothing. You can see the simulator. We have nothing on the canvas. This white part is our canvas. The body is our canvas right now. We have nothing there. So that's because I already wrote the code, but I commented it out. So just comment and explain what it does. So this is our paint method. Like I said, this is where the magic happens. This is where everything we have to do. We want to paint anything, we have to do it here. So first we have to put our paints our paints. This is like I don't know how to explain this. Okay, this is like our brush. This is our canvas. We have a canvas. The paint is like our brush, which we use to you know paint on the I don't know what I used to use. Paint on the canvas. So we have to put our paint first. Then now to draw things, we have to use our canvas. Like I said before, our canvas gives us several methods and several functions to draw things we want to draw. So we start by drawing a line. And to draw a line, we are required to provide three things. First is um, the first offset, the second offset, and the paint. Um, these offsets are just like coordinates on the canvas. So it's just like when you want to put when you want, maybe some of us have experience with drawing on paper or anything. If you want to start drawing, you have to put your pencil somewhere first. So like a line now, a line is just like joining two points together, moving your pencil or your brush or whatever from one point to another. So the first offset is just like the coordinates on the canvas of our first point. So basically, we just want to draw a line that cuts through our canvas, the middle, horizontally. So the first offset will be the first point, and the second offset will be the second point at the end. If you're following my cursor, the first point and second point, first offset, second offset. So the offset takes in two things, of course, the x, the y, the x, which is the horizontal component, and the y, which is the vertical component. So to draw this, we need to put in our dx, the y, like I said before. Our dx, because we want the, let me just run it so we can see the line already. because we want the line to start from where it's starting from, we put 0 because the horizontal component is just like the end, which is 0, the beginning, sorry, which is like 0, and then the vertical component is the middle of the string, which is like, and to do this, like we have the custom painter provides us with the size, and all we have to do is just like get the height of our canvas and then divide it by 2, which is what we are doing here. Size dot height, and then we divide it by 2, which is the middle here. That's for the first point. And the second point, we just like take our horizontal components to the end of the screen, which is, and in this we're just going to use like the entire size, the value for our screen width for this. So, and also our paint, like I said, like the brush, it's important for us to put that there too. So the next thing we're going to be drawing. Let me comment this out. We're going to drawing a circle. To draw a circle, we need to put in 2 things: the center of the circle, and 3 things. Sorry, the center of the circle, the radius of the circle, and then of course the paint. So the center is also an offset, and since we want our circle to be in the middle of the screen right here, we just have to get get the center of the width and the center of the height, which is size dot width divided by 2 and size of height divided by 2. Next thing, just going to try draw a triangle. So unlike the first 2 things, like when we're drawing a line, we use canvas dot draw line. We're drawing a circle, we use canvas dot draw circle, which was quite straightforward. The canvas doesn't give us anything like, I don't think canvas gives us anything like draw triangle. So with this, we're going to use something called the path. With the path, you can draw almost everything, almost anything you want. It's just joining lines together from different coordinates, different parts of your canvas. So let me just show us the triangle already. So, and now we'll try to draw it. So first, we create the first point will be here, which is the center of the width, and also 120 is here because the distance between this up bar here and the beginning of this triangle is 120. And then we move our line. Like I said, the path, we're just connecting lines together. So from after creating this particular, let me comment this code. After creating this particular point, it's not showing until we create our first line. We have to like move the line somewhere. So I'll be moving the line down here. So we'll just move from here down, then to the right, then back up. That's going to create our triangle. So to move the line down here, the distance between the edge, the far left of the screen and our point will be 50. And of course, the point will be in the middle of the screen here. So if I auto-reload this, it's going to give us our line. See, it comes here, and then now we want to take it to the right side, which is almost the same thing. We just get the width of the screen and subtract 50 from it. And when we auto-reload, we get our line. Now, to get our line to close with the top, all we have to do is just do our path dot close, and then we have our triangle. The next thing, we're going to draw a rectangle. Since we are still in the beginning,
so that we can see clearly.
Sorry, was that a question?
They're asking for you to zoom in so that you can
Yes,
see
can
what
you
you're doing
please?
properly.
Yes,
Oh, I should zoom in the code. I'm trying right now. It's not really coming through. Um, it's not working. Okay, just need to increase the font, I guess. Yeah. Sorry, is this okay now? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Sorry about that. So to create our rectangle, the canvas gives us a draw rate, and we're just going to be creating our rectangle by creating it from our circle. So we already have a circle right here, and we created the center variable, and we're just going to use that here and radius, and give it a radius. Then we have our rectangle. So that's just for the basics. That's just because we need to understand these little things to be able to paint the bigger things. When you want to draw, like even when you want to create a custom shape, you have to know how to move your path around and things like that. So let me continue my presentation. So for the complex UI, this is what we are just going to be. I just put us through the code that was used in building this. Can you see the animation? We're going to just draw the cup and also try animating it. So I'll go back to my code now. Okay. I already have everything, so I'll just be going through what each block of code does. So yes, this is this is uh, this is it. We have our stateful widgets called complex UI, and the scaffold, the body, you have the custom pins and custom pins are called cup painter. So let's just go scroll to the cup painter, and of course I have to change this to this. Okay. So here, there's a lot of things going on here. I have different pins variables. Like the first one, the cup pins. This is for because if you notice that the thickness of this the straw and the cover is different from the cup body itself, and also the shadow here is also different. So I use different pins variables for everything. So the first one is just color black with the the stroke width as 2.5. Second one, so let me just go down. So to draw the curve, our canvas doesn't give us any method like canvas.draw curve. So we have to connect our path. We have to use the draw path to achieve this. Okay, so this one is a little bit complicated. Sorry, I have to like disable the animation for now. Okay. So first we start with the cup body, the cup's body. So it's just a path moving around using different points of different coordinates on the canvas. I already calculated this everything here. So basically, the first thing would be path dot move to, meaning where we're going to start our drawing from, which is here, this particular place. So I started by drawing a line down that goes down. So this the first point, point. And now here quadratic Bezier tool. I use this in order to create a little curve because if you notice the bottom of the curve is not particularly straight. There's a little curve here and here too. And to achieve those curves, that is quadratic Bezier, which is what I did here and here. So just continue. So I did the curve, then created the next line, and then the next curve, and the last line, and close the path. So everything is like sequential. You have to go from one point. You have to draw the first line, the next line, and move on like that. Then of course, canvas dot draw path, and you put in your path and the paint. The next one is the shadow line. There's a I have to draw it first. So this line below the cup here, um, this line below the cup is like a shadow. So I call it the shadow. It paints the shadow path. It's just a line. It's just a line. So move from one point to another, and then canvas dot draw path. Um, then the next step will be to draw the cover. So like I said, everything is we have to go from one point to another. First, draw the cup body, go to the shadow, and now we have to work on the cover. I have to about what to draw. Cover elements. So here you can see it's just the same process. Create path. Sorry, I didn't get that. Can you come again? Hello? Okay, I think I will just go on then. So just move our lines around to connect everything together and create our, then we draw our cover. And also there is a cover top, there's another cover on top of the cover that holds the straw. And that is what is here. Uh, so that is this here. And then the last thing, draw the straw. Straw. Yes. So, last thing, draw our straw. Okay, I guess there's something else here again. Okay, it says the little space, this white space in the straw cover. So, okay, that's not really necessary. Yes. So after we successfully draw, taking our time to draw whatever I want to draw, and it's time to um, animate it just the way it is here. So basically, I have a lot of I I I use different animation controller for everything, like the cup, use different controllers for the cover and the shadow and the straw, so I don't get anyone confused. So after create our animation controller, and in the need states we set our duration to the controller. Then we fire up the controller after 1 second. Okay, I did this before I record the screen. And okay, so basically what's happening here is after the cup, this block of code, what it does is like after the cup, it listens to the cup controller. When the cup controller, when the cup animation is done, then it fires up the cover animation. Fires up the cover animation. The same thing happens, something similar happens in the next block of code. After the cover animation is done, the cover top will then proceed to animate, and after the cover top is done, the straw will then animate. So let's go back to this place where we're going to draw the path. So I created the function already that is going to call animate path. So this is going to just help us to animate the path by using the progress we get from our animation controller. So let's just do this. So I already passed the animation controllers, the value from the animations to the painter. So now we just have to like call the animates. Let us comment this drawing away so we can do the animation. Basically, the animation is going to do the drawing, so we don't need to do the drawing again. So like I said, I created the function already, animate. So it's going to help us to animate everything. So the first, just like the drawing, we have to do everything one by one. We can't rush. First, we have to like animate the cup, which is just called the function takes in four things: the path, the paint, the canvas, and the progress of the animation. So once we do this, start the app, so the animation can see the cup just got animated. So we proceed to the next one, which is the shadow, and we start it. The cup animates, then the shadow goes along with it, and the next thing is the cover. So the cup goes, the shadow goes, then the next thing will be the cover that will go through that will go along. Then cover top also. So everything requires uh, uh, some amount of patience. And lastly, the straw. So the cup, the shadow, cover top, and then the straw. So like that, we've been able to finish up the complex UI we want to work on. Thank you. That's all. Any questions?
Please, where can we access this thing? Can we access it on GitHub like this?
Oh, okay. I'll
The
post.
way you explain, me as a beginner, it be hard me to catch up.
I'll post the link to the code in the comment section.
In the comment
Hello.
section, not
Sorry, any more questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
For the drawing of the cup, I can
Yes.
see so many decimals there. Is there like a tool that helped with writing, getting the precise calculations you need to draw it?
Yes, there is a tool called Flutter Shape Maker. Let me be sure about it. Flutter Shape Maker, something like that. Okay, yes. That can so this tool can help you to so you can basically draw on the tool and then get your points and it even I think it generates the entire code for you even. So
Wow.
yeah, just fluttershapemaker.com. You can check it out.
No. Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay. I think that's is the end of my presentation then. Thank you for having me.
thank you. Can your DMs open on Twitter?
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you come
Like,
again?
can I message you on Twitter?
Yes, sure, you can. You can.
All right, thank
Okay, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Festus, for the session. So I think we've come to an end of the event. Let me hear it. Okay, we've come to an end of the event, and I want to say thank you everyone for staying to this point. So if you have any questions, you can message them on Twitter. You can message Chizi on Twitter, and you can message us on Twitter. So for Unilag students, like I said earlier, please Williams mute your mic. Like I said earlier, our events should be physical as from when we resume, hopefully. That's if they allow us. And yeah, we might host a physical event for our info session where people get to finally see me. And our study group quote 3 will soon be up. We'll soon open up applications and it's going to be limited. So with that said, thank you very much. Have a lovely weekend. Have a lovely
you. Where's
I
Tuesday?
don't know anything. Sorry, what did you say?
Where's Tuesday? I have a question.
He left due to some things, so you could just message him. I had a session. You message him on Twitter to ask him any question. And yes, this um event is being recorded. So when it's up, I'll send it to everyone. Thanks and goodbye.
All right, thank you. Thank you.